Good afternoon. This is a meeting of the Road Agency Board of Directors. For the record, my name is Will Van Vactor. I'm the county manager, but I'm here to help staff the road agency. Here this afternoon, we have Road Agency Board member Brian Barney, a representative from Crook County, and board member Steve Forrester representing the city of Prineville. And with that, I will turn it over to the two of you to elect a chair and proceed with the agenda. Happy to answer any questions you may have as we get started here this afternoon.
Would you like to be the chair?
I would not. I was going to nominate you, sir, as the county. Now, the county will be, just to be clear, this is for the SRS funds, right?
Correct.
And so the county is the main beneficiary. I think it's fair that the county should chair the session. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense to.
For me. Okay, well, I will accept the position.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure working with you.
I don't know if we probably need to have just a formal nomination and
I'll nominate Commissioner Brian Barney as the chair of the Crook County Road Agency.
I'll second.
have a quick vote.
I vote. Go ahead. Call for.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Will. So we will move on through. We've appointed the board. Let's Steve, have you had an opportunity to review the agenda and the intergovernmental agreement that we have with the city? And then we can appoint a third board member.
Yeah, I have had the opportunity to read the materials, the bylaws, and the agreement, the intergovernmental agreement between the two local entities, being the county and the city. And I'm had the opportunity to go through those, and I'm prepared to move on to the third board member appointment.
Okay. So I have spoken with several different people to see if they were interested in it. I think that we also have to, on down further on the agenda, we have to come up with a budget committee meeting. So
Right.
we put a few names together. I have. I contacted Jerry Brummer, and Jerry had agreed to serve as our third board member. Jerry was originally one from the county that initiated this program and SRS, and I think he's pretty well diverse in it and would be a good second or third board member.
I concur, have the same thoughts. He's also is currently a city councilor, but prior to his service at the county as a commissioner, he was the superintendent of public works for the city of Prineville for several decades. And his understanding, also active participant in COAC. I agree with you. I think he's a great opportunity for him to serve on this and take advantage of the experience. So I would make a motion that we appoint Jerry Brummer as the third board member of the Crook County Road Agency.
I'll second that motion. Motion's been made and seconded to any discussion?
No.
To appoint Jerry Brummer as our third board member. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Mr. Brummer, would you like to come up and sit with us?
Congratulations.
Yes. Get by there. Yep. You've lost all the weight. I haven't. I can't go anymore.
I can tell you how to do that.
No, thank you. 18 days isn't good for me. So, one thing that we have is the bylaws, and we have the opportunity to approve those bylaws. And Mr. Brummer, they're just an extension of our earlier is the bylaws. We can do it now, or we can wait, whatever. You have any thoughts on it?
You had to make some changes. Or we need to make.
We
some
need to make
changes.
some
Yeah.
changes. It needs to be more, Will, do you want to elaborate on the changes from our original one that we had with just the IGA with the city?
Yeah, so my understanding is that the original IGA called for the road agency to be comprised of the three members of the county court. So the three commissioners. I believe it was earlier this year, was it March? We signed an amendment to the IGA to restructure it so that the three members of the board are comprised of one representative from the county, one representative from the city, and a third member appointed by the two members of the road agency. And we just went through that process to appoint the third member here this afternoon. The amendment also talked about provided some guidance in terms of who provides support to the road agency. So, county staff providing support through the budget process, and in other, meeting preparation. So those were some of the changes. Is that what you were kind of looking for, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Good. So I would entertain a motion to approve Exhibit A, the Crook County Road Agency bylaws.
I'll make a motion to approve the bylaws as presented.
Well, second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor of approving Exhibit A, bylaws of Crook County Road Agency, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Sorry.
Staff
Here,
will,
here you go.
staff will finalize those and bring them to the next board meeting.
Okay. The other point of business is to adopt the fiscal year 2025 budget resolution.
The budget resolution you have in front of you moves $3,000 from into materials and services to pay for the annual audit that's required for the road agency due to having over 500, excuse me, $500,000 in fiscal year 24. That was unanticipated when the budget was done in the prior year. And due to the change in governance, we needed to wait until the board was appointed to be able to do this budget resolution.
Okay.
We need a motion.
Well, before we do,
Yes.
just walk me through if you wouldn't mind, Christina. So we have a contingency of 800 is the amount forecasted to be received 846 with an 800,000 in continue. How does that work?
Yeah, so the 846 was funds that we received in the prior year. So we
Okay.
received those funds in fiscal year 24 and
Right.
passed through in fiscal year 25. We
Okay.
anticipated receiving another $800,000 in fiscal year 25.
Okay.
We have not received it because that act has not been reauthorized.
Okay,
So that's why that big contingency is sitting there.
Okay.
Because the anticipation was those funds would be passed through next year,
okay,
but they weren't received.
understood. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So, Mr. Chair, do we need a motion? Do you want to make a motion, Jerry? And
Oh, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2025-01. Crook County Road Agency for the Crook County Road Agency, State of Oregon.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 2025-01. Any discussion?
The only thing that I'm concerned about is I probably should have clarified this in a resolution approving the budget appropriation adjustments for fiscal year 2025. And so maybe restate that motion, ask for a second.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. So moved. Okay, I see that we have an approval for an engagement letter for the auditor. Christina?
Correct. So Clear Trail CPAs is the new name of our prior auditor, Polly Rogers and Company. So this audit allows Clear Trail CPA audit engagement letter allows Clear Trail CPAs to prepare the audit for fiscal year 24 for the road agency. It includes their scope and objectives, what our responsibilities are as management or your responsibilities are as management of the agency, and then the reporting. And it also includes preparation of the financial statements for fiscal year 24.
Tim,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the engagement letter for Big Kenny. That probably isn't gonna work. For, what's the new name?
Clear Trail CPAs.
Clear Trail CPA. I had to get back to right. So that motion again is for the engagement of Clear Trails CPA.
Second.
motion made and seconded to approve Clear Trail CPAS. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So move.
Will, it only requires one signature. Do we need to have them to designate someone to sign it? On behalf of the agency?
That's a good idea. I think the board should maybe just authorize Brian as chair to sign the engagement letter after the meeting today.
I'd go ahead and make a motion then that we empower Chairman Barney to sign for the agreement for the audit engagement letter for the auditor.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to authorize Brian Barney to signature line for the CPA Exhibit C after the meeting, out of meeting.
Yep.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. So we need to have some discussion on budget officers. We need to have a budget officer, and I believe Will has offered to serve as the budget officer.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're shifting gears now from some items related to fiscal year 25, moving ahead to fiscal year 26. The road agency needs to appoint a budget officer. I'm happy to volunteer to do that. Also happy to have you guys select somebody else if you're so inclined, but to keep things moving, I'm happy to volunteer and serve in the capacity as budget officer for the road agency for fiscal year 26. This is just to comply with Oregon public budget meeting or budget law. I believe it's ORS 294 requires a budget officer. My recommendation is that if you're going to appoint me, that's fine. But if you're thinking about somebody else, just keep in mind that it can't be one of the volunteer citizen members of the budget committee who we're going to discuss here momentarily. It sounds like technically you might be able to use one of the board members, so one of the three of you as a budget officer, but I would just recommend that we go with somebody who is not a board member for purposes of serving as budget officer.
So Will, is there any advantage to having somebody, I mean, Casey's here, just to throw Casey under the bus, but or somebody like Casey from any advantageous, I think practicality, I agree. I think you should be the budget officer, but if there's anything that you see in the, from a legal perspective or just goodwill perspective, is there anything you can see?
Nothing real obvious sticks out. I think, if there's any benefit to having non-county staff serving in that capacity, it's just to create that little bit more of an arm's length separation between the road agency and the county. I think we've done that in other ways by forming this current iteration of the board and having it comprised of not the county board of commissioners. So I think we've taken some proactive steps in that regard, but there, to the extent I can think of any benefit in having somebody besides a county staff serve as budget officer would just be creating that little bit more arm's length separation between road agency and the county organization.
Chain of custody is the term I was trying to come up with while we were having the discussion, Bill.
Yeah.
For somebody like our auditor, for example, might have something to say about that, but I think from a practical standpoint, I will be great. So
Yeah,
you want to make a motion? Or
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, you ready for him to make?
yeah, I'll make a motion, have Will Van Vactor be the budget officer for the road district.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to appoint Will Van Vactor as the budget officer. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Will, you have a new job. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if I should thank you all for that, but happy to help.
So let's have some discussion on a budget committee. We need to find 3 people to serve on the budget committee. And then I think we have a follow-up meeting on the 16th.
Yeah, that'll be the budget meeting.
The budget committee can meet and we can discuss budget.
So yeah, we're still kind of focused on fiscal year 26 again. So we're looking for 3 budget committee members to serve in that capacity. This is that rule that requires, any sort of public body that is adopting a budget to have a budget committee that is comprised of an equal number of kind of what I refer to as citizen members of a budget committee. So there's a few rules that apply, but not much. So it can't be, the budget committee members can't be an employee of the government. In this case, the road agency doesn't have any employees, so that box should be relatively easy to check. They need to be voters within the district. So I believe the road agency covers all of Crook County, so they need to be residents of Crook County. So just some basic requirements that need to be met to qualify to be a budget committee member. Christina, do you have anything to add to qualifications or what factors need to be considered?
Do you have some names?
I do, but it can't be an employee of the city or the county.
No, I think it's an employee of the government,
Road-
which in this case is the
the
road
road agency.
Road agency. So
Oh, okay.
I don't think,
Yeah.
I think city employees, county employees should be okay. This is an area we don't have a lot of experience in, but I feel pretty comfortable about that.
Yeah, again, and the only thing is I don't want to get audited and then get written up or advised that we have too many of our in-house people participating. Do you have any concerns about that, Christina?
I don't. The main concern the state has is the control.
Say it again.
The main concern.
Oh, that's good. I'm about it.
The main concern the state has was the control of the entity being independent of the county. So it wasn't so much that the budget was the independent issue, it was the control of the entity being the independence issue. So I feel that because nobody is an employee of this entity, and obviously I can't give you a legal opinion, but I think an employee of the county or the city should be fine.
So Casey,
Yes.
she's interested. I would like to see Casey. I have also had some conversations with Russ DeBoot with Crook County Fire and Rescue. He said he would be happy to help. I had also talked with Larry Blanton, but he won't be here for the meeting, so
Okay.
that one won't work. So if you have other people, then
Those were the 2 I had. I'm just, Casey, would you have any, I know Lori would do it if we ask her to. So Lori Hooper. And it seems to me like that's a pretty well-rounded group of people. And certainly plenty of horsepower there between you and Lori for sure. And we can take direction from the financial minds, if you will, we'll be fine. So,
yeah.
so I would endorse all the, so I think the ones that I'm looking at would be Casey and Russ and then Lori Hooper.
Yep, that works for me.
Yeah,
You want to make a motion,
Yeah.
Doctor? Huh?
go ahead.
I'll make a motion to the road agency board that we appoint Casey Kaiser, Russ DeBoot, and Lori Hooper as the membership of our budget committee for
Second.
fiscal year 2026.
Second.
Technically, budget committee members have a 3-year term.
For the foreseeable future. Okay, for a 3-year term starting fiscal year 2026. Is that right?
Yeah, well, that will work for now. Normally they're staggered, so it'll be
Okay.
one's 1 year, one would be 2 years.
Okay,
and one would be
okay.
3 years.
I'll just say for the current budget committee. How's that?
And then when we meet, we can work out
Yeah.
that schedule with them, how they want to do it.
Yeah. I'll second that.
Okay, a motion's been made and second to approve Russ DeBoot, Lori and Casey as a budget committee.
Okay.
Any discussion?
One important item, can I designate you to tell Lori? Okay, thanks.
And I will tell Russ.
Okay.
Remind me, no. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Wow, we're whipping right along. So our another item is discussion for a timeline for fiscal year 2026 budget adoption. This has to be done before June 30th.
And you mentioned we had a meeting tentative scheduled or scheduled for the 16th and for this purpose.
Correct.
Correct. We have the budget committee meeting on June 16th.
Mhm.
And then the board will reconvene to adopt the budget on June 30th.
Okay,
Okay.
that was my, so that we, do we need to wait till June 30th or is that just the way you'd
I
like to
think
schedule?
timeline or notice wise, we have.
Notice wise, okay, gotcha.
All right, so we confirmed those 16th of June and the 30th of June. Any other business?
No, I'll just note, we're tracking what's going on with SRS funds in Washington DC. So maybe by the time we get to adopting the budget, we'll know more about what the future of SRS funds looks like. We'll keep the road agency apprised as we learn more. But I appreciate everybody's time.
Hey, Will, just real quick, given what I would characterize as kind of a sensitivity in the community right now on a lot of different fronts, you and I have had conversations about all the different things going on, is this will be a public meeting, I take it.
Correct.
So we have to notice it. Do we want to, is there any thought about, do we want to heighten the awareness on the county's webpage or anything what this is? Is that I don't think that's a slippery slope. I mean, this is a really good thing that I know, Jerry, you worked on, you were passionate about.
Yeah.
And it's, a lot of opportunity to improve road conditions.
Yeah.
And so good work, in other words. I'm just trying to be in tune with where the public at right now in terms of their sensitivity.
Sure.
So
No, I think that's a good point. So we do have a meetings page set up for the road agency. So all of the meeting materials, all of that is available online. We'd also be happy to do a press release. We can put it under latest news on the county's website, just to inform people, hey, this is what we're doing. We've got a budget committee meeting. This is why these SRS funds are so important. Kind of inform the public.
I think that, I mean, I just thought, this really covered it well. I thought the information that you guys sent over, just, anyway, you do what you think's best. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Thank you.
Okay, any more business?
What times are the meetings on the 16th and 30th?
I believe the 16th is at 2 p.m.
Okay,
and then I believe the 30th it's at 2 p.m. as well. We try to keep them, they're all on Mondays around this 2 to 3 time block.
Okay.
But after this meeting, I'll adjust those and then I'll need to get a person, do you have a personal email?
It's the same as it was my personal.
So we'll adjust the calendar
Yeah.
invites, and that way that's showing up for you.
So what would you expect, beyond getting this closed up by June 30th? Would we do semi-annual check-ins or?
The IGA actually talks about quarterly meetings.
That's what I thought, yeah.
I think some of that, as, I don't know that there's a need to meet 4 times a year.
Right. That's
But I
right.
think as there are developments, as funds come in, I think it's appropriate for us to at least maybe at the staff level, check in with the board.
Communicate,
See if there's
yeah,
a need.
yeah.
For a preference for a meeting.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking is once we get confirmation of the status through the Fed pass through, then that would be good information to all know, so.
When will you know if this gets reappropriated? Or do you have any kind of a time frame or?
I think they've set a goal of, I think I heard on the news last week, they set a goal of July 4th to have the Senate. Because the House has passed it, so the Senate's currently reviewing it and negotiating, debating, what they want to include and not include. So I think there's a chance by the time we get together on the 30th to adopt the budget, we'll have a better idea of where we stand with SRS funds.
Those funds usually came in like at the end of April, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the other quick question, just kind of a point of reference, in case somebody asks is, would it be safe to say this is it $800,000 a year or $1.6 million a year that would go to the road department, so to speak?
Yeah, so it's around $800,000 a year that goes to the road department. The Secure Rural Schools Act actually has 3 different sections of funding in it. So it's
Right.
Title I, which goes to the school district, Title II, which stays with the feds, and then Title I gets split, 25% school district, 75% road, which ours is going to the road agency at this point.
Okay.
Then Title II stays with the feds, and then Title III is the other chunk of that.
Okay. So where I was going with this in my mind was as a percentage of the capital expenditures, that's not even right. I would say more of a operation side of, chip sealing and restructuring, rebuilding roads. Say if that budget was 8 million, this would be a 10% of the budget. Is this, can you kind of give me an idea what type of percentage of increase or this or strength this provides for road maintenance? Or is that not a good metric?
I think it's a good metric. We're just kind of changing the way they're doing road maintenance at this point between chip sealing and
Oh.
paving.
Oh, gotcha.
And so we're kind of in a,
Treatment?
yes, road maintenance, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Would be-
I think that'd be I guess my point would be, this is a big number. This is significant.
It
You get a
is
lot of work done for
significant
this.
chunk to the road department
It-
for the county.
It's a critical
That's a
funding
good word.
stream
Yeah.
for the road department to
Yeah.
try to continue to maintain our roads
Yeah.
at a reasonable level. And so this money is really important to our community.
Okay.
I don't have specific numbers, but we
Yeah.
certainly can try to.
Yeah, we
try to
can
We can talk about that.
get you a
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah.
See, when Representative Owens asked this, the deal was the county road department has received the SRS funds for, 15 or 20 years. But there's 9 counties in eastern Oregon that if you received that, it was taken away from your built funds. Which is your other funds coming in for in lieu of taxes on the federal property. It didn't affect the ones down in the valley, but there's 9 in eastern Oregon. So that was just a loss. So by doing this, if this works out, then the road fund will receive that money and the county should receive an extra $800,000 in their build funds. So hopefully I said that right, but
Yep.
that's the way that I understood it. So,
Very good.
Yep, Jerry, you're correct.
Thanks, Chair.
All right. Any other business? There isn't any. Move for adjournment.
So moved.
second.
Made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. We're adjourned.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Will.
It'll be on the invoice.